Good morning. Trying to figure out why my stuff acting crazy up in here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you guys for being here. Let's get this show on the road because I got to get to the office a little bit later. So good morning, Rose. Good morning, True. Thank you guys for being here. Let's get started. And everyone else is coming in. Good morning to everybody. Okay, let me get this uploaded. Yeah, I'm tired already. Walked out the door. I'm tired. My God. But we're here. Hey, Deborah Johnson. Good morning. Living with Purpose. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Mary's Favorites. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Katrina Taylor. Good morning. Shirley Taylor. Eve Parker. Good morning. Verdi Tulu Taylor. Denise Slay. Good morning. I see Faith Williams is here. My other top flight is in the building. I flew in with the cape on. Good morning, Tiffany Thomas. Thank you for being here. Big Steak is in the building. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Sharon Bradley. Good morning. Good morning. Follow me, Black. I like your name. That's cute. Follow me, Black. Okay. Good morning, everybody. They said. God bless us. Good morning, love. Good morning, Brown Eyes. Good morning. Who else we got? Everybody still coming in. Good morning to everyone. Let's get into the show. Of course, everything said in the video is alleged. And in my opinion, and is used for fair use and entertainment. We got a good show for you guys this morning. So I hope you guys are ready. Please go ahead and tap on that like button for me. And let's go. All right. First topic, I am sad to announce this news. OMG. I think everyone watched this person growing up on Showtime at the Apollo. Miss Kiki Shepard has passed away. I remember Miss Kiki, honey, when they get ready to judge them, they be like this. Okay. For all the contestants, y'all remember Miss Kiki, honey, had on her little nice little lavish gowns, walking back and forth across the stage. But they've had several different host on the show, but when it came to Kiki, honey, Kiki was the only one they had up on there, honey, to judge, you know, when they judge or whatever. The model, y'all know she was a model, supermodel. But shout out to her. She passed away at the age of 74. Let's get into it. Let's remind you guys, Miss Kiki Shepard. Shout out to the Neighborhood Talk on this. Showtime at the Apollo's legend Kiki Shepard passes away at 74 after a sudden heart attack, you guys. Let's get into it.
An amateur night with Kiki Shepard. Sam and...
All right, we'll bring out the lovely Kiki Shepard. All right.
Come on, Kiki.
Woo. Looking like Miss Jackson, huh?
And now it's time to bring out the lovely, the sexy Kiki Shepard.
Woo. Everybody wants kung fu fighting. Woo. All right, wait for 60 years. We need some help. Come on, Kiki. Kiki Shepard, lovely as always. What's gonna happen? Oh yeah. Oh, that's y'all there, Kiki. Oh yeah. That's working. I love some velvet. Bring out y'all, Miss Kiki Shepard.
An amateur night.
Yes, so rest in peace to Miss Kiki Shepard, honey. She did pass away by a sudden heart attack at age 74. She looked great all the way up until like her death, right? Because y'all know black don't crack. Well, some black, child, some black. But Kiki, she was out here still giving face, honey. And I was like, yes, but she passed away. So we are paying homage to her this morning. Rest in peace, ma'am. Let's move along in the show. All right. Yeah, I woke up, I saw that. I was like, what? No, not Kiki, honey. Not Miss Kiki Shepard, Lord. So prayers up for Cuba, you guys. Cuba's entire power grid reportedly collapses. Nearly 10 million people left without power, left without electricity across the island. So let's get some prayers up for Cuba that they can get some power over there, because y'all know the weather, child, been kind of crazy up and down. One day it's warm, the next day it's freezing cold. I saw several places getting hail. And then some people are still getting snow flurries. I'm like, hello, we're supposed to be going into spring. So yeah, it's freezing cold here. I'm in Atlanta. It is freezing here. It's like in the low 30s, like low 30s. It's freezing. So let's get into this. Prayers up for Cuba.
Imagínense. Entonces no comería esta mañana comida. Comería pan otra vez por la tarde, ahora por la noche y todo eso. Porque
esto es lo único que tenemos los muchachos hoy en día para distraernos.
All right, so he says that we are young people. We young people have nothing else to entertain ourselves.
El dominó.
y pasar el tiempo.
Apart from this, says the dominoes, they play dominoes so that we can spend time with
Dale
family.
tiempo.
Sí, porque tenemos hasta los teléfonos apagados. Sin carga.
Pasar tiempo en familia.
Andamos sin teléfono y comunicación.
They said they have no telephone, no communication. I mean, you know, I think you don't understand how much you need something until you don't have it, right? I think when you're in a situation where electricity is out by way of whatever, storm, whatever, you be like, damn, like I realize how much I really need lights, or I really need such and such, right? But they are out of power. Now, they said that large areas across Cuba were plunged into darkness after the country's national power grid reportedly collapsed, leaving millions of residents without electricity. Now, officials say that the massive outage comes as the island continues to deal with fuel shortages and aging power plants that have struggled to stay operational. In recent years. Now, Cuba's president, Miguel Diaz, had previously warned that the country had not received a fuel shipment in months, raising serious concerns about the stability of the nation's power supply. Now, the blackout is being described as one of the most widespread outages that Cuba has faced in years. So prayers up for Cuba, all right? Prayers up for Cuba. This is sad. As you guys can see, y'all can read that at your leisure. Let's move along. So sad. All right, for those of you that like to go to the mall to get a nice little face beat, you might want to be a little hesitant and definitely check to make sure the person who's doing your makeup is definitely using disposable brushes and disposable materials and not dipping into what they're using on someone else's face, because different people have different things going on, different bacteria and all these other things. So when they're dipping into this makeup and they're putting it on your face, even though it looks good, you have to be very knowledgeable about this type of thing. And this woman here had an unfortunate situation by going to, I think it's the MAC counter to get her makeup done, and something very, very bad happened. So shout out to Tall Class of Jules. Said that she went to get her makeup done at the MAC store and got more than she bargained for. Let's get into this. I want to share this because I know a lot of you guys like to go and get your makeup done, whether you're going to a wedding, special event, or just, go get your lashes or makeup done just so you can feel beautiful. Let's be very cognizant of where we're going and making sure that we're going to the right places, okay?
I want women to know that if you do decide to get your makeup done, you're doing it at your own risk.
The young mother had an event in New York City. So Tamika Hill says she had her makeup done at the MAC cosmetic counter in the Willow Grove Mall.
When she did a wonderful job with my makeup. She did a great job.
But several days later,
I woke up in excruciating pain. I couldn't see. I had to be taken to the emergency room.
the diagnosis? Ocular herpes. Like the virus people get on their mouths, Hill had it in her eye.
I literally cried myself to sleep that night because I just was like, this is unbelievable.
She believes she got the virus from the MAC makeup artist, who she says was not using disposable brushes.
And I asked her then, again, aren't you supposed to be using disposable makeup brush? And her exact words were, girl, I can't beat no face with no disposable brushes.
Action News repeatedly tried to get comment from Estee Lauder, parent company of MAC Cosmetics.
I want women to know that if you do decide to get your makeup
Y'all hear that?
done, you're doing it at your own risk.
The young mother.
So just a little educational clip here for you guys. If you're going to these places to get your makeup done, make sure the person that's using these different supplies on you, that they are disposable, that they're not using brushes that they use on everyone, because we don't know what someone else may have you around people's eye area, around the mouth area, and they come right back and use that same brush or makeup utensil on you and could be spreading something unbeknownst to you. This woman here had ocular herpes due to the MAC counter person doing her makeup not switching out and or using disposable brushes. All right, so let's be, yes, that's something. This woman said she couldn't see, she was in a lot of pain. I would sue the fuck out of the MAC store. I'm just saying, because they know what to do and what not to do. You put in other people's lives in danger because you want to be lazy, because you don't want to get the necessary products that you need in order to do your job. Like, don't use the same lipstick on me that you're using on someone else. That's why I do my own makeup, right? I know how to do a whole face beat. I can contour, all of that. And guess where I learned it? On YouTube. I didn't go to a class. I watch videos to learn how to do makeup, and I can do eyebrows, I can do contouring, I can beat a face. Like I can blend, like I can do all of that. And I learned all of that by just looking at videos. Yeah. And I can make a bag on the side doing it too. I used to, but yeah, so definitely be careful. Be careful. We're only showing you guys this as a precautionary measure. All right. Be careful who you allow to do your makeup. Make sure they're using the right products. Let's get into this next topic. As you guys know, that we are currently in a war with Iran when we should not be. Let's get this up. Congress considers adding women to the mandatory U.S. military draft. Now, we heard about men, boys and men getting ready to be sent over in a mandatory capacity, we'll say it that way, okay, are drafted in terms of sending them over to, and I think it's 18 and up. You have all these different stipulations as to what they look for. Of course, if you have a disability, I think they say you have to have graduated high school, and so many other things that they look for in order to be able to be drafted. But of course, if you have disabilities and all these other things going on, if you have one leg, I mean, it's just certain things that they will not allow you to go. But now it's getting to the point where they're saying they may be drafting women, right? This is sad. I would hate to know if you have I think it's if you have a felony, you can't go. I saw a few people in the comments. I thought it was funny, but I mean, don't go out and get no felony because you don't want to be drafted. They were like, damn, I'm about to go out here and get me a felony so I don't have to be drafted. I was like, yeah, it's not that serious. But lawmakers in the United States Congress are debating a proposal that will require women to register for the military draft, just like men currently must. Wow. Now, right now, only men aged 18 to 25 are required to sign up with the Selective Service system. But some legislators argue that expanding registration to women could make the system more equal and reflect the modern role of women serving in the military. Hell no, we won't go, right? So even if Congress changes the rule, it does not mean that a draft would begin immediately. Now, a military draft can only happen if Congress and the president approve activating it during a national emergency. The president that y'all voted in, Trump, I feel like he would definitely sign off on that with the quickness. A lot of people saying, why the fuck ain't Barron Trump's son with his tall ass? Why he ain't going to war? Why he ain't being drafted, right? You said everybody else's son over there. Why your son ain't going? But anyway, so if it were ever used, the system would likely rely on a lottery based on birth dates, similar to the process used during the Vietnam War. Okay, so what do you guys think about this? Does that make you guys nervous if you have daughters between the ages of 18 to 25 to see that Congress could pass this bill to where not only males but females could be drafted to go to the military? I don't like that. I don't like the fact that you are making someone serve their country when they didn't sign up for that shit. If I wanted to be in the military, I would have gone. So you invoke this war upon us that we didn't ask to fucking be in. Now gas is high as hell. Everybody's feeling the crunch over a situation that did not need to happen. You raised tariffs all over the goddamn place. That didn't need to happen. And now you're begging other countries to like stand down when they're getting in your ass. So now it's a possibility that someone's daughter could be drafted to a war that did not need to happen. Oh, y'all, this is a praying time. I keep telling y'all, wars and rumors of wars. Imagine it, Lord. I cannot imagine it, my son, if he were 18, okay, to have to be drafted to go somewhere. That would bother me, right? What happened being in a world, I mean, in a country where you're free, child freedom. You got freedom of speech and all that, but then a motherfucker tell you gotta suit up and go fight in a war that you damn ass to be in. This shit is crazy. Child, mess. Prayers up, right? Prayers up. Yeah, that's some bullshit. Somebody said my son will not. Okay. Somebody said your son will not. Child. And then the thing is, if they do draft them and you don't send them, child, they don't go. Child, y'all know how the military is. They'll lock your ass up. Okay. That's a sad situation. I just, other countries, they have that shit as well, but they're more aggressive with theirs. When they draft their people in other countries, you don't go, child. They see that as a means of dishonoring your country when you don't go and try to fight for your country. But my thing is, it should be an at-will thing. If I decided I want to sign up for the military, whatever rank it is, then that's just what I do. But if I decide, hey, I want to go to college and make something of my life, not necessarily going to war. I mean, shit, that's just what you decide to do. But this drafting shit, I ain't for that at all. I'm not for that. But let's get into this Krishan Rock news, honey. So Krishan Rock did an interview, you guys, and she says that Junior doesn't have a disability, that he is developing at his own pace. She says, if a doctor or anybody speaks against your kid, you shouldn't accept it. I feel like she has a disability, okay? Something is not connecting in her brain, where your son is now 2 years old, still in a fucking walker. And no, I'm not talking about his son, her son. I'm speaking of the obvious. Your son is 2 years old. He's not walking. He's not talking. He's still drooling as an infant child would do. He's not making the milestones or meeting the milestones that any child of his age would do. Yes, all kids develop differently, but your child at 2 years old should be walking on his own, unassisted. He should also be talking. He should be verbalizing words. He should be able to point and say, hey, I want that. He should be able to do several different things that he is currently not doing because his mother chose to drink fucking bottles of Hennessy and smoke marijuana, probably laced with other things, while this child was in your womb. And there are videos out there of you asking for more Hennessy and saying you didn't give no fucks because you were going to abort him anyway. And I played it on my channel. So anyone to say, oh, that's not true, there's a whole, go back 3-4 videos ago, I played it where she said it. You weren't even planning to keep this child. And now that he's here, and thank you for going to church and getting close to God. Oh, that's beautiful. But let's acknowledge that your son is suffering because you as a mother will not accept the fact that he has been ruined because of your decisions, your irresponsible decisions to not drink and sacrifice. Being a mother, it requires being a person who can sacrifice. I like a little lemon drop here and there. A little shot of rum here and there. But when I carried my son, that was a distant memory for me, because my focus was on eating healthy, taking my vitamins, going to every appointment, doing all the things that I am supposed to do so that my child can come out and be at his very best, be as healthy as he can. I hear a lot of people say, oh, you can drink wine while you're pregnant. Fuck out of here. Not going to do anything that could be contrary to my child coming out with a fucking horn on the front of his head because of a decision I made. It's only 9 months. I tell people that all the time. It's only 9 months for you to stop doing the shit you like to do so that you can bring a healthy baby into the world. Krishan, you fucked it up. And it kind of makes me upset because her son has so many medical conditions that need to be addressed, and she won't do it because she's embarrassed. Don't you think it's just as embarrassing for him to be riding around in a fucking stroller at 2 years old with his fucking feet dragging the ground? No, again, I'm not picking at her son. We're stating the fucking obvious where everybody can see it. But you get up there in church, Yahweh, Yahweh. Yes, God does forgive. He does, honey. We do serve a forgiving God. But at the end of the day, you got to acknowledge that this baby desperately needs some help. He got club feet. He's not walking. He's not talking. I hear he's not eating. He's still drinking bottles of milk at 2. He needs certain nourishment so that his bones can be strong enough to stand up and walk. He probably can't walk because he's not strong enough to, because he's only drinking milk. He should be eating fruit, vegetable, meat, protein, all these things he's supposed to have at his age, and he's not. So she's still in a state of denial when it comes to this child. And other people be trying to tell her, and she gets so upset. Don't listen to a doctor, a person who went to school for years and years and years that specialize in the things that they need to specialize in, to tell you that your child needs help. Like, this girl is Delulu to the 25th motherfucking power. It makes me so upset. But let's get into this.
He said, and if it's anything I could do to help him here. The part that really messed with me is that Blueface doesn't seem active in the child's life because of his disability. Hold on. I feel like that's what triggered me, and my anger overpowered my message. I didn't get to deliver any way, shape, or right, and I apologize to you. It didn't deserve my words, and the grace you showed me spoke volumes to season of your life. You're in the right now, and I'm here to support and congratulate you overly. So I said my son does not have a disability. He is developing at his own pace and hitting his milestones in his own timing. Every child is different, and I'm confident in his growth. If I said it, he had a disability, then he. But it's like,
don't tell me.
I ain't say none of that. Watch your mouth. Like, say if someone, a doctor, anybody speak against your kid or yourself, then you should not accept it, bro. Yeah. Anybody, if they're guessing or whatever. He said,
why would a doctor guess when they're looking at your chart after they've done several tests to tell you that this is what's wrong? This is the reason why she didn't go and get that other surgery that this child was supposed to get, because she feels the doctors don't know what the fuck they're talking about, even though they are with all these degrees, PhDs and everything, girl. It's kind of funny how they know what they're talking about when your ass gets sick, though, right? When you get sick, you go to the emergency room and whatever they tell you is going on, whatever medication they give you, okay, doctor. But when it comes to your child, I kind of feel like, and this may be, I may be off the beaten path when I say it, I kind of feel like you just don't give a fuck no more, and whatever happens just happens because you didn't want this child to be born. There are videos of you saying it, Krishan. You may get mad with me, but it is what it is. You vocalized that you will drink as much Hennessy as you want. Matter of fact, you wanted more shots of Hennessy, and you had a stomach that was out to here, and you said, I'm just going to AB him anyway. So you had no intentions of having this child because you were mad at Blueface, and you're still talking about Blueface when the conversation really should be about your son and him getting help. That's painful for him to walk around with these damn fucking Jordans on and Timberland boots on when his feet are clubbed. He should not have those shoes on. He should not be made to stand up in a fucking walker for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours while you're in the gym punching a damn bag preparing for a fight when your fight should be for your fucking son. Am I going too far, you guys? Am I being too insensitive? I'm a mom, so it kind of hit here for me when I keep seeing videos and pictures of this child. Like, so Blueface's mother, who obviously loves this child and all of her grandkids, okay? Now, she's been wrong a few times. You got to give her that. But in this situation, she says he have several disabilities, and I told John not to agree with you and this Willy Wonka ass bullish. The revelation that he gave you was not the smoke or drink during your pregnancy, and you ignored it. Now stop this bullshit. She want to blame everybody but herself. Even if Blueface offered you a drink while you were pregnant, you did not have to drink it. If he passed you a blunt while you were pregnant, you could have said, nah, bruh, nigga, I'm about to up and smoke that because I'm carrying a child, right? And pass that shit back. That's what a real mother will do. Like this, somebody hold you down and pry your mouth open like this and just pour the Henny all up and through your damn throat. No. And the product of your irresponsibility of this child is this child that you are carrying around at 2 years old. Are you going to carry him when he goes to school? Or are you going to even take him to school when he turns 5? Because it's approaching very quickly. He's 2. He's about to be 3 this year. In what, September, I think? What is wrong with her? It's weird to me that CPS ain't stepping in on this situation.
Word said what the word said. God said what the God says. I don't have to accept what you. So it's really like me, like protecting a revelation that I heard from the Lord over my son. Yeah. Like I can't wait when my son start walking and talking. I'm gonna just be like, exactly.
Like I told y'all.
So he just out of the blue gonna start walking with club feet. He gonna out of the blue start walking without the proper nourishment, without the proper medical attention. That's why God put doctors here for a reason, right? God put doctors here for a reason. I mean, shit, it was doctors back in the biblical days. And Jesus would walk around all over the place, but they were still doctors. So just because you go to church, and I need people to understand this. Sometimes y'all can get wrapped up in some of these churches that tell you things that are contrary from what you should be believing. Yes, God can heal your child. I truly believe that. I've seen miracles happen. It can happen. But do not slight your child from getting the necessary medical attention that he can get because you're so spiritually inclined. You probably took your child to church and let him pray over your child. Okay, yeah, he don't need any medical attention because he will walk in due time. No. You go and get him the therapy that he needs. Let them look at your child, whatever they're telling you is going on, whatever they suggest that you do in terms of the rehabilitation of your child, take that and go with it. You can still go to church, but don't slight what a doctor, a professional, a person who studied for this stuff.
I told y'all. He told y'all. Shoot, I was just relaying the message. It's like one of those. Word said what the word said. God said what the God says. I don't have to accept what you. So it's really like me, like protecting a revelation that I heard from the Lord over my son. Yeah. Like I can't wait when my son start walking and talking.
I can't wait till reality set in with your stupid ass. Carlissa goes on to say that God gave us doctors. I just said it, lawyers and family to help us. When you sick, you take your ass to the. I ain't even read this yet, y'all, and she co-signed. I literally just chose this topic this morning. I promise to God. She is co-signing everything I just said. When you sick, you take your ass to the doctor, and when you was fighting your cases, you use a lawyer. Correct. These games must stop, and your fan base is responsible. Yeah, because they do hyper. Oh, there's nothing wrong. Junior's fine. No, he's not. Faith without works is dead. Oh, all of that. That's a word. Now stop this shit. Okay. She said, I also blame the interviewer using you for clout. When you leave, they laugh and count your views. It says that someone who gives a fuck would have doctors there for him when you pull up. Said he's agreeing with everything you say, knowing the truth. I agree. They are really using her for clout and views for their podcast. And she going to all these podcasts talking crazy. They're like, yeah, we don't care, child. Just talk. We're just glad to have you on the podcast. And we about to get hella views. And yeah, we about to have the money rolling in from these damn views. They don't give a fuck about her. She's so stupid. You're being used and abused. And like the song said, used and abused. They're using and abusing your stupid ass. Okay. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that. It's sad. I'm really sad to see Krishan not doing what she needs to do for this child. You don't want anybody talking about him. You don't want anybody discussing him because you get so offended. But I mean, you live with the child. The child's with you. You see, he's not walking. Thank God he's pulling up on his own. We did see that when he was in the playpen. We saw that. But he should definitely be doing more as a 2-year-old child. All right. Again, we're not picking at the child. Nobody in my comments on that bullshit. You probably get cussed out today because I'm really irritated by this situation. Like we've been talking about this shit for since the baby been born. Like you literally could look at this child when he was an infant and tell that something was wrong. You could tell from his cries. It sounded like a cat cry. Okay, crudicat is what they call it, the condition that they're trying to say that it is. But bottom line, she has to be accepting. It's just like a person on drugs. You have to, the first step is to accept that you have a problem. So she has to get to a point where she accepts that there is a problem with her child so that she can go and get the help. Let's move on. You guys, we keep talking about these crazy pastors getting in church and some of these sermons and some of the things that they're saying to their members. I don't understand how people can sit under this type of teaching. This is very inappropriate for church. I've been in church all my life and I wouldn't want to hear this in church. I'm sorry, but let's get into this. A lot of people thought it was funny, as you guys can see in the comments. I don't think this shit is funny. Let's get into it.
Don't hold back coochie. My church.
Let me back up. I want it.
Don't hold back coochie. My church mother said, when you get married, let that man shoot all his bullets. Let that joker don't have a nail round in it. Don't never send your man out the house hungry and horny. I'm trying to help you, Miracle, so when you get one. Oh, I'm trying to help you. Don't never send your man out the house horny or hungry. Or somebody else will feed him and somebody else will give him some. Don't hold back coochie.
Is that in the Bible? Is that anywhere in the Bible? What church is this, right? These people, amen. People be amen in anything nowadays. People go to church, amen. And preacher stand up there and cuss you out. Amen, pastor. This is so inappropriate, right? Maybe this should have been talked about. It said what I walk into. Holly Rock's a mess. Maybe this should have been talked about in maybe like a singles retreat type situation where you have somebody talking about things that you should or should not do in relationships. But for a full-fledged Sunday morning service, I don't feel like this was appropriate conversation for an entire congregation. Like, are children in there? Like, this is inappropriate. Do y'all think? Right. I said this so-called preacher is a silly old fool. I would walk the heck up. This is inappropriate. If I was in there, I'd be like, what is this? It's like, what type of sermon is this? I don't want to hear that on no Sunday morning. Like, yikes. But let's continue on. Y'all sign off. Remy Ma. Let's get into Remy Ma. Now, this is a clip that I pulled again, where I was kind of telling you guys about this the other day, where Remy Ma was saying that Papoose really is playing with Clarissa, that he is not serious about being with her, that he just over there to get what he can get, okay? Because she threw his ass out because he won't do what he should have done. Now, granted, she's cheated as well, okay? Both of them have cheated. But she's saying, hey, Pat really is not trying to be there for no damn Clarissa. He over there playing with her. But let's get into it. Let me get it back to the beginning because I haven't watched it.
Not crazy. And you're a user, and you over there playing with that girl. You over there playing with her. If I thought she would believe it and would listen or even care, because anytime somebody gonna say like, yeah, they told me what the situation was and I accepted it. Cool. Okay. Okay.
What up, Marcella?
Could you please ask him? Because he keeps saying he doesn't have any clothes, but he doesn't really have to come over here and get them. I literally have. I'm so great. I'm so nice. Look how nice I had this bagged up. I bought these bags off of Amazon. These are good bags, and I packed it so nicely. Hats in one, sneakers in one, jackets in one. I did everything. So it's waiting here. I cleared out this whole area. Everything. Look, this has been here since last year. Like, I'm not stuck. Nobody, there's no hold up. Any hold up is on that side. Nobody took anything from me. Nobody took nothing from me. Nobody owes me nothing. I'm not angry at anybody. Like, I just want, stop lying. Stop lying. Not crazy. And you're a user. And you over there playing with that girl.
So she's saying that Papoose is using Clarissa and he's playing with her. He ain't really in love. Like, he said, I love you. But she said, yeah, no, I've seen this same game before, child. He did the same thing to me. He's over there love bombing the shit out of Clarissa and getting as many furs and pieces of jewelry, chains, and the double R's in the headrest, rented, child, all of that. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think that Remy is hating, or do y'all think she said, hey, if Clarissa would listen to me or believe me, like, I would be happy to let her know, like, girl, you are totally being played out here. But you know, sometimes women don't want to hear that their man is a fuck nigga if the person that used to be with him is telling them, because then they feel like, oh, you just want my man back. But sometimes, you know, they be trying to let you know, like, what you getting yourself into so that you can avoid that hurt down the road. But you don't really be seeing those red flags right quick because you be so engulfed in the dick, right? Sometimes you know, you have your head behind the headboard too many times and he done damn shifted your wig a couple times and you don't see that shit, okay, until it happened. Not everybody got to get hit by a bus before you know that shit hurt, right? Let's move right along. What y'all think? Y'all think Remy hating, or y'all think she's really trying to let Clarissa know he is not for you, right? Child, let's move on though. Let's get into this Ty Chrisley news, honey. Ty Chrisley. Girl, you ain't gotta get hit by no bus to know that shit hurt. Okay, you don't gotta do that. But shout out to It's On Site. I said, why does she care about what Papoose is doing? That's a good perspective. She said, why does she care? Yeah, why does she care? I don't know. So Ty Chrisley says that it was important for his granddaughter Chloe. I know he has a mixed granddaughter, okay, who's half black, half white, to have a black nanny and therapist so that she could understand her African American identity. I like that, right? I like that. So that she can kind of be around her people, so that she can identify with who she is, because she is half black and half white. So I like that, Ty. Say that she has enough white people telling her what to do. All right. So Ty Chrisley is sitting out here. He's doing an interview with Candy Burst, and I love how he set this up. Let's get into Ty. I like you now, Ty. I really like you now, Todd. Okay.
I need a black nanny.
Mm-hmm.
I need a black woman with her.
Mm-hmm.
She gets enough white. Her daddy's side's covered.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to make sure that she knows that she's part black.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up with a nanny, Andrea, who was wonderful and was with Chloe until Chloe didn't need a nanny anymore. But I also placed Chloe when she got older with a child psychologist.
Mm-hmm.
That taught her about her feelings, about, you look different than the rest of the people in your family.
Mm-hmm.
This is because your mother is African American or black. And
did you have to use the black therapist, or?
I did use a black therapist only because I felt like that it would resonate more.
Mm-hmm.
She had enough white people telling her what to do
and what to do.
Right.
Right.
She needed to have another perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So when Andrea would take her to the library every week, she had to do a report every week on a African-American successful female. And that's when I got involved with Octavia Spencer.
Oh, okay.
Because Octavia had just finished her
I love her too.
Yes. And she had just finished that movie, CJ Walker.
Okay, Madam CJ Walker. Candy looking great with the boobs out and all. You better give it to him, Candy. Candy's like, bitch, I'm single now. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
And that became mine and Chloe's favorite movie, because Chloe would get up in the bed with me and I would say, let's watch. I said, let me show you what you can do when you get big.
Mm-hmm.
And she fell in love with Octavia, but she fell in love with Madam CJ Walker, because that's who Octavia was. And I said, do you see that you can do any of this? It doesn't matter your color, but even with a woman who was limited because of her color,
mm-hmm.
she was the first black female millionaire in the country. Chloe knows that whole story.
Mm-hmm.
Chloe knows Harriet Tubman. She knows all of the famous black women that have suffered before her.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because we put forth that effort to make sure that she was protected and that her culture was protected.
And as she knows her history.
It's hard because we are white. We live in a community to where it is largely white.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I go to put her in a private school, it's largely white.
Mm.
And I need a black nanny.
I love that, because how many kids grow up biracial who don't know the other side of who they are, right? Going to these schools, I'm pretty sure, like you said, the child goes to a private school. It's like you said, largely white. It is important for them to know their culture and where they came from, right? It's very important. So I like what Todd is doing. That's very important, to educate your child and put those type of things in her way to where she'll know who Madam CJ Walker is, who Rosa Parks is, and all these other people who help mold who she is as a young black woman, okay, or a young black girl. I like that. I love that with Todd. Because it's a lot of mixed kids out here who don't know their other culture. They just know the culture that they live in. If they're looking around and all they see are white people and they don't look the same as the people that they're living with, it's kind of important that you let them experience that side as well. So I love that, right? Somebody say I like Candy. Yeah, Candy is out here doing the damn thing and whatever. So shout out to Candy with her Speak On It podcast. Y'all know she's doing really well with that too. But Candy is a whole, she out here bossing up. So thank you, Candy, for that. All right, let's get into this next one. Y'all know who Elite is. Elite is Keisha Cole's sister, okay? All of them look alike, okay? All of them look alike. Neffy, she kind of looks like Neffy to me. Shout out to Unwind with Tasha K, because this is where I saw it. She's doing an interview with, I think, Keisha Cole's, I think he's a cousin, okay? Yeah, her cousin. So Keisha Cole's cousin goes off on Elite, who is Keisha Cole's sister, and Neffy's sister as well, and says that she's a really bad person. She be out here on the fraud shit too, according to this cousin child with this Balenciaga sweater on. But let's get into what he had to say about Elite. We haven't really heard from them since Keisha Cole's The Way It Is reality show, which I watch every single solitary episode. I love that show, right? Frankie with her crazy ass, rest in peace to her. Y'all know Frankie was a whole hot ass mess on the show, but she was funny. But let's get into this, because he's talking about some of the things that Elite has been involved in. So let's get into it. I might watch this interview because this is interesting, but let's go. Shout out to Tasha K.
Was Elite really stealing identities and shit like that?
So
Your friend like this. Yeah.
for the record,
She's like, I like her. Every time you say something, she be like, that part.
Elite is a get money type of girl. She get money by any means, even if that means running you over and leaving you in the damn street. She's a terrible person. But first of all, she's a gay basher. Before Ellis is telling the truth on that, she does not like gay people. And I don't understand how a person that is gay could have so much hate for gay people. Every time she gets into it with a gay person, she literally goes on the internet and tries to contact one of the exes, or she go on the internet and try to say that they sick or something like that. But she has a habit of doing this. She tried to do the same shit to me. Like she had, I was in an abusive relationship. And during the time was when she moved into my house, and I told her, I'm like, I really don't want nobody to move into my house because I'm going through so many different things. She came. The first day that she got there, her and my nigga got into a literal fist fight because she's disrespectful and she's mean and she's cruel. So she probably told the nigga, like, this my cousin shit. But you got to watch who you talk to at the end of the day because everybody's not going to take that shit.
You said she gay though? She hate gay people, but she gay? Your friend, your friend back there like, we have to sit down.
Bankruptcy is actually a very quick process.
Now, we already knew that Keisha Cole's family was just very dysfunctional. If you guys watch the show, the reality show, they are all dysfunctional, even Neffy. We just heard another relative, I think it's Keisha Cole's youngest brother that they just met, who they were reconnected with, because all of them were kind of spread out. They were in like foster care. And y'all remember Keisha Cole talked about how she was raised with another mother other than Frankie, because Frankie was on drugs during the time that Keisha was growing up. So all of them were kind of spread around, just staying with everyone. But her youngest son, who she said he reconnected with Frankie prior to her passing away, of course. He said that Frankie told him flat out, yeah, you can't be my son because you gay. You gay as a mother sucker out here. I was like, what? So, but he really talked about a lot of things as related to his siblings. And they also talked about how Neffy, I think the brother, one of their other brothers came out to say that Neffy was doing some really nasty things to him. I was like, what? Like touching him inappropriately and doing different inappropriate things to him. And that's like her brother. She knew that was her brother. I was like, damn, that's a pedophilia type bullshit. But what do y'all think about that? Now to hear that Elite is on some bullshit out here calling gay people different slurs when she actually liked gay people. Weird, right? It sounds like the whole damn family needs some therapy. I think I may watch that interview just to see what's really going on, because I'm nosy, right? Y'all let me know what y'all think though, honey. Sound off. All right, let's get to this next topic. Let's get into the reality TV portion because we got to wrap this thing up. We ain't gonna be on here too long. All right, let's get into it, honey. Married to Medicine, you guys know they're having their reunion. I'm pulling a few clips so that we can look at it, child, because the girls are reading down. The girls are out here with the claws like this, and I love it, right? Because maybe when they're fighting, sometimes you got to listen real good when a person be fighting, because then they be spilling tea and telling on folk, right? So Toya, honey, shout out to No Chaser on this one. Toya says that she had a neighbor tell her about Dr. Damon, girl. And Dr. Heavenly said that someone told her why Dr. Eugene was fired from the hospital. Okay, let's get into it. She lied. Now we've seen Curtis's hands on a few of the female cast members. That was inappropriate for him to pull Toya down on his lap to sit on his shaboing, shabong, boing, boing. You know, Curtis was harder than arithmetic when he pulled her down. And you know it. Curtis was like that. He probably took one of the blue pills before his ass sat down. That was inappropriate for him to grab somebody else's wife and pull them on his damn lap. We also saw him with his hand down by Heavenly's ass when they were taking a group picture. But I've never seen him touch Jackie that way. I never see him give any type of affection when it comes to Jackie, but she sit her ass over there like she is on propofol at the fucking reunion, spaced out and shit, when somebody talking about Curtis and the bullshit he be on. Young nigga was all the way down in South Carolina and told you he was in the DR at work with a bitch, and you didn't even fucking know about it. But you gonna sit up here and defend his stupid ass? You don't need to go that far. Too late. Let's continue. Shit. I'm tell you right there, won't see, that made me snap all day. I just shit, I feel like my hand for a minute. Mine would never. But what in the world, girl? Toya, girl, who woke Toya up? Now, Jackie, you ain't talked all season. You get to the reunion and you want to defend Curtis, the nigga that sleep down the hall from you at home, girl. But oh, y'all let me know what y'all think about that. We're not done, girl. We're not done. All right, so let's get into. Oh, child, let's get into it. The girls are fighting. I love it. I love this shit. Oh, girl. Girl. Y'all saying Jackie is pretty. Said you cannot wait for Sunday. Me either. Girl, let's get into it. Okay, so Dr. Heavenly Girl, okay, slams Toya Bush Harris at the Married to Medicine reunion and predicts that Dr. Eugene Honey will divorce her in a few years. I don't see that happening. I feel like they've been married for 18 years or so, almost 20 years, I think they said on the show. I think Eugene is used to the bullshit with Toya, right? I think they really love each other, but do I think he's just gonna walk away from her? No, I think he gonna keep taking jobs when he's gone all week and come home on weekends so he can tolerate her ass. Okay, it's more toleration than adoration in this situation, in this dancery. Can I put that in? Let's see. Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Housewives. Let's get into it, honey. Oh, God, the girls are fighting. I love it.
Toya, it's been
the shade of it all. Heavenly. Now you trying to speak divorce of. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me turn this way. That was some shade. Because y'all remember some seasons back when Mariah up and ran Heavenly's ass down for filth and said, bitch, pressure watch this house. Okay. That will forever be one of my favorite scenes. Oh my God, that was an indirect piece. We already saw that. All right. Oh, girl, the girls are Chinese reunion here is giving. It's better than the damn show, right?
If we're gonna stay out of it.
Okay, we saw that. Okay. Woo, what do y'all think about that girl? And Andy always know what to say to egg the bullshit along up. But you've had many homes. Like, bitch, we know every season she in a different house. So Andy, you don't have to go there. Like, let the girls fight. Stay out of it, Andy, right? But let's get into this next topic, girl, since we are girl pressure wise, right? Mariah said pressure wise. That's why I said Mariah ass need to be back on the show. Because baby, the show has been as good since Mariah left. But I told y'all the word of the street is that Mariah should be making some appearances on next season's Married to Medicine. So I am super happy about that. So yes, girl. The girls are fighting, honey, and indeed they are fighting. So Candy Burns and Todd Tucker reached a settlement in a divorce case. Let's get into the update here. All right. According to the girls are fighting, I have not had a chance to cover this. Let's see what it says. Candy Burns and Todd Tucker reached a settlement in divorce case. Candy Burns and Todd Tucker have reached a settlement in their ongoing divorce case, according to a recent order filed in Fulton County Superior Court. Now, on March the 11th, 2026, Judge Alice Benton of the Fulton County Superior Court issued an order stating that the parties in the case announced a full and final settlement. The order followed a temporary hearing that had been scheduled for March the 23rd of 2026. Because a settlement has been reached, the court ordered the parties to submit all final documents for review by March 20th at noon. That's a couple days coming up. All right. It said that these documents may include a final judgment, parenting plan, child support addendum, or child support worksheet. Somebody about to pay child support. Todd, could it be you? You ain't paying shit else. So the paperwork, honey, is not submitted if the paperwork is not submitted by the deadline, the judge stated that the case could be dismissed without prejudice. Meaning it could potentially be refiled at a later time. Now, the order suggests that the major issues in the divorce have been resolved and that the case is now moving forward, finalization, once the settlement documents are submitted and approved by the court. So we may hear something this week because that has to be submitted by March 20th. So maybe it's a couple days or so after Fulton County Court. Let's see. Do I want to sacrifice a personal day to go down there and be nosy? Maybe. Because we gotta get this tea by any means necessary, right? But so we should be hearing something soon. I keep hearing child support addendum, child support worksheet. So it sounds like Candy is definitely going to be asking for maybe shared custody or maybe full custody. Because she does have a nanny to take care of her children that she is paying for, and Todd ain't paying a goddamn thing. And she may be asking for Todd to pay child support, which he should. If you're not in the home, you should. You should absolutely put towards your children's needs. They are in sports. They have school. They have things going on. They have to eat. It should not be on Candy alone just because she is worth, $35-40 million. You're still responsible because your soldiers did march in her vaginal walls in order to make said children. Can I say that, YouTube? Too late. But let me know. The girls are fighting. That is the recent update that we have. Let's get into this last topic. All right. With y'all know Carlos King did his stolen show last night. Married. What is it? What's the show? Messy Monday. His stolen podcast. Okay. We already talked about it. Was that messy? This is a messy type of day. Let's get into it. Where he is reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville, the scene with Destiny, Tisha, and Kimmy. And Dustin Ross says something that really kind of made my ears stand up like this. And we're going to take a look at it. And you guys can let me know in the comments as we're watching, okay? I may stop and play to give commentary in between because, baby, Dustin, I keep telling y'all, Dustin is hit or miss with me, mostly hit, okay, when he comment on this because he's very fair, okay? He's very fair when he watched this show, unlike Carlos sometimes, who can be just very one-sided in his comments because he has certain castmates who he like more than others, so he don't really, I guess, give fair commentary when it comes to certain people. All right, but let's get into it. You can tell Claudia is not here for the bullshit at all, but she's just here because she's got to be here. But let's get into it. Let's go.
Listen, one statement that was said during the scene between Tisha and Destiny.
Shout out to Carlos.
While Kimmy was there, was Destiny and Tisha addressed what they were going through, and then Kimmy asked, like, okay, so can we move on? And then Tisha says, I now know where to put Destiny in a box. And Kimmy goes, what box is that? And she goes, don't trust that hoe over there. Claudia, I want to get your thoughts on this first. If one of your girlfriends said to you that don't trust that hoe over there, and you are the hoe they're talking about, would you be offended by that? And would you think at that moment your friendship would never be the same?
Beef is reignited. One thing I don't do, what Aries don't do, is disrespect, and don't even try to be funny in a joke. It's not happening. Because I do little funny things and jokes, but when it's your friend, you can't go that far.
Mm-hmm.
That's not. And you did it on camera. You did it in front of. You didn't just do it around this group. You did it in front of millions of people. You tried it. There will never be a situation where it's okay for you to be like, don't put trust in that hoe and point to me. Now you just reignited whatever, all that, what we just did and settled it. Nah.
Because that would get your ass a forehead mush. Okay. And I ain't about the violence all the time. But lower your motherfucking tone and use your words wisely when you talking about me, right? If we supposed to be friends, hoe and my name should never be in the same motherfucking sentence. Let's continue, shall we?
Hell no. That's I'm not with that. Don't call me a bitch or don't call me a hoe, and don't say you can't trust me. Those that's a quick way to make me be like, oh, okay, we back. It's on and popping now.
Okay.
If you only do one thing to kick off 2020,
ad. What do y'all think so far? I feel like that's very disrespectful. If you see a person as your friend, certain words you should never use in the same sentence as your friend, right? I just feel like that. Let's continue though.
Bitch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dustin.
Hell yeah. I'm with Claudia. You already know. That's why we see eye to eye on that shit. Yeah. And furthermore, though, I think the difference with these two specific people, with Letitia Scott and Destiny Payton, they were never friends anyway. All that shit was built on a lie. They shared an enemy. And so they was ops that linked up and then continued functioning in the format or the structure of a friendship, but they never were really friends. They just both had issues with the same person. And so now for them to try to push forward this friendship or whatever, of course it's going to implode because all that shit was built on a lie. So
did y'all catch that? Dustin said Tisha and Destiny were never really friends. Their friendship was based solely upon the two of them not liking one person. We already know who it is, right? Melody. They did not like her. So, of course, we know, and this is not an attack on just any one person. Tisha does not thrive unless she has someone to connect to, right? She don't really pop by herself. So like if she's linking up with Kimmy, who she have certain expectations for people that she link up with to have the same mindset as her. That's just how she operates. And the difference between Destiny and Tisha and Kimmy is that Destiny is very strong-willed in terms of how she thinks. And I'm not praising Destiny in any sense of the word. I don't really fuck with her like that, but I'm just speaking facts. Destiny has a strong mindset to where she thinks on her own. She can operate on her own. She don't need to link up with a bitch in order to feel a certain way or not. If she don't like a bitch, she don't like her, correct? But with Tisha, she still has this childlike mindset to where she don't pop unless she has a connection. And that's what we've seen since season 1 of Married to Medicine. So that's why she hang around Kim, because we are sister-in-laws. So because we're sister-in-laws, we should have the same mind. I should think like you think. If you don't like this person, I shouldn't like that person because we are sister-in-laws, right? That's how you said it. But let's continue. So I'm glad that you pointed that out, Dustin.
hate to see it because I've seen them have fun before. I've seen them have moments where, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but if you see both of them in scenes with other people, they act much more comfortable than they do when they're in scene together. And that's another indicator to me that there's not an actual connection there. But you know me, I'm a person that started at the beginning. I don't believe you can start a story in the middle. And I remember how Destiny and Letitia became friends.
Remind the audience.
They was both
like you don't know.
ops of Melody. They was both ops of Melody Cherie. That's why.
Okay.
And so because both of them had beef with Melody at the time, they found camaraderie in their Melody beef. And that's why it was never going to sustain. Anytime two people link up out of a mutual hatred, that's why I don't do that shit. Like, if I don't like somebody, I just don't like them by myself. I'm not going to go link up with none of they ops, because how can y'all ever really trust each other when it's built on something so negative? So we just watching it happen. Those of us that have been sitting back with our arms folded, tapping our watch like Judge Judy, we knew that that relationship was going to implode, and that's what it was. So
That I agree. That's someone that they was never really friends. If you were really a friend with someone, you would already know that that's not cool to say on television.
100%.
In front of other people. Like, that's like someone that you're surface with, where you're like, oh, we ain't really that tight. Whatever. Who cares? It's a throwaway. Oh, don't trust that whole. Oh, I was just playing. Someone you really have feelings for, and y'all have a real friendship. Y'all been on the phone, cupcaking, talking about their issues at night. That's not how you would talk to them.
You handle them with care. You know what I'm saying? It's all right to disagree, to have a whatever the fuck, but there's a way that you do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have, if I say you my friend, I don't even have it in my heart to like hurt your feelings like that with the words that I use. You know what I'm saying? It's a way that you talk to people when you love and care about them. And that it don't look like saying I put you in the don't trust that whole box.
If you don't trust me, then don't be my friend.
Yeah.
I never said I don't trust that hoe when it comes to my friend. We just don't have that type of rhetoric between us when we communicate. Like, that shit is weird. Like, for Tisha to say in that one scene, and I played it for you guys, I think yesterday, where she was saying, I don't really fuck with Destiny. I put Destiny in a box, da, 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 da. But then you turn right around and say, I'm gonna go and help her find her family in Detroit. Like, I don't want that type of support system in my life. Like, make that type of friendship never find me, right? Because that seemed like some fake shit. That just seemed fake to me. I don't know.
Yeah, why are we even around each other if we don't trust each other?
Don't be my friend.
So,
What do you think? Okay, so Dustin, you're one.
Carlos feels a way about Dustin's comment because he liked the Scots. He loves the fuck out of Tisha. The same one he was going to fire in season 1 because he said she wasn't bringing anything and she needed to step it up or he was going to get her ass up off the show. But in this situation here, I agree, Dustin, exactly what he said. Let's go. We're about done.
Of the people who've been watching the show since day one, what are your thoughts when you see people say that, you know, Tisha is becoming the new villain of the show, or they feel like Tisha is trying to become the face of the show? What are your thoughts on that? Do you think there's some validity in that based on what you've been watching this season, or do you think people are trying to create it's a stretch what they're trying to say?
I think that we have such short attention spans now that if there's a lot of viewers who, because our own personal lives are so chaotic sometimes, we forget details related to a TV show that entertains us, right? And I think a lot of people have simply forgotten the origin story of some of these rifts and broken relationships. I also think that people have forgotten how people showed up from day one on the show. Let's go back. Remember, Letitia was the person who introduced Melody and Marcel.
And sorry, guys. Tisha is the person who introduced the infidelity with Melody and Martell. Okay, she really did. Let's get back into it, honey. We about done, y'all.
Melody and Martell's infidelity to the group. They were all sitting down and she said, well, you all have had issues in your marriage like the infidelity. Boom, bomb drop. And from that, you made the show, Lo. So you know, from that point forward, we got an inside look or deeper look into Melody and Martell's marital issues at the time when they were married. After that comment was made and the group dynamics kind of changed because Melody was offended that that information was introduced to the conversation at that time. So some of the behaviors that we see now that kind of mirror that are not new. That's who Letitia's always been. I think that because Melody left, her and Martell are no longer married, and they were the central focus of the show at that time, with Letitia Scott and Marceau Scott and Kimmy Scott and Maurice Scott also being day one cast members, naturally they have absorbed some of that focus. And I think that some people are misinterpreting that per my view, as Letitia trying to be the star of the show or trying to be the focal point. But it's really a natural progression considering the turn of events that have taken place with marriages dissolving, casting changes, people exiting the show, things like that. So she's been there from day one.
I think Tisha wanted the top spot all along. She just knew she could not fit that spot. Right. She kind of, when she was, you could tell the way she used to watch Melody when Melody would be on the show, when Melody would try to get out of the house and put her in different places in terms of some of the events that Melody would go to. She would say, Tisha, come on, get your babysitter, let's go. She would try to pull her out of the house to be more independent. She saw that in Melody, and that's something that she strived to be, but she didn't know how to be. Tisha has always been insecure. That's something that I noticed. She's always been insecure. I feel like as the seasons have gone on, she kind of got a little bit more secure about herself. Okay. I feel like all of the surgeries, allegedly, that she's gotten in order to kind of fit in or fit the bill of what maybe her husband likes as far as women, so that he can keep his eyes on her. That's not a slight in any way, shape, or form. I don't want nobody to feel bad about that. But what I'm saying is, I think that Tisha has had her eye on the top spot for quite some time. I think it was already known that when Melody was on the show, she was the star of the show. I think that was just how things were set up when the show came about, that Melody was a star and Martell was like the star co-star. In terms of him being her husband at the time. I feel like Marceau and Tisha wanted that spot. Hence the reason why the jabs and all of the negative things were being said on the show. Now, once, and you guys remember right before, right when Melody did leave the show, what is it, last season, where Marceau says that to Martell when they were at Destiny's event, I'm here to take your spot, and you feel some type of way about it. That's not verbatim, but Martell kind of looked like, bitch, I already knew this is what you was trying to do since Melody ain't around. So you guys know that I don't have that support system, because Melody was the mouthpiece. Melody was the brains behind everything. And once that disconnection came with Melody and Martell and he was left alone, he didn't have that same power that he had when she was there and they were as a unit, correct? So they could say anything to him that they wanted to. They could come at him in any type of way. They could try him on any type of subject, because Martell didn't have that where Melody could walk up and be like, hold up, bitch, now. Right? So he's kind of like left out there like a seal in the wild by himself. He didn't have that. He didn't know how to clap back and fight back. He didn't have nothing to fight back for. He lost everything. And they knew that, and they played on that. So Tisha and Marceau, not to say that their marriage is just, the best that it is, but the fact that they chose to stay together, because years being together means more than a healthy marriage. I see from on the outside looking in. Okay, can I be transparent? Years. Tisha is more so focused on the years that they put in versus the quality of marriage. So that's how they've been able to still stay together. And I feel like, them staying together is more so them being on this show to be able to show this united front and that we can take this top spot. It's just not there. It's like a Cinderella story. You can put the shoe on, but the bitch gonna hurt. You know why? Because it don't fit. You either got it or you don't. I mean, you only sat back and studied her for 9 seasons, right? You either got it or you don't. From the way that Melody would wear her hair, as soon as Melody would walk in the room, Tisha would be like this. Once over. She give her the whole once over. She would stare at her the entire time like she was taking mental notes of how to be like this person that she inspired to be. So putting out there that this woman had infidelities in her marriage when you had just as many only served your purpose more than anyone. I felt on the fucking show. I'm just being, look at Carlos' face the entire time that Dustin is saying this. He don't like that because he loved the Scotts. He loved them. And the show can be so much better if he got rid of some of them and switch some of these other people out on the show with other people who really have shit going on that's really doing something. It's too many Scotts. I've been saying it since season 1. If they remove some of the Scotts and put another couple or two on the show that really have some real good businesses in that area, that's because there's other people I'm sure that's like out here getting it, riding around and getting it with businesses that are thriving, that really, really have some successful things going on as a unit. Why not give the show a refresh? If Bravo does it with Real Housewives of Atlanta and can reach and get somebody like K. Michelle, Okay, what's the lady from Slutty Vegan? Like, shows do it all the time. But Carlos, his problem is Carlos always befriend the people, try to befriend the people that he worked with, which makes it hard for him to do his job as the fucking boss. It needs a refresh. You wonder why your ratings are the way that they are? You need to do a sweep. You need a sweep, baby. You need a sweep. Not about friendship. Sometimes people can run it, they can run their course on a show. It's becoming stale. Listen to your audience. Look at comments. Look at your chat where people are saying, we're sick of these hoes. And you sitting there with your face stale like, but I like them. But your ratings are suffering because you won't make the next step. You love Andy Cohen so bad, you try to do everything Andy do except do a refresh. Andy will get rid of a bitch in a minute. He didn't give a fuck about Kenya Moore. Look at where she is now. How many seasons Kenya been on the show? She's gone. Because Andy understands ratings versus bullshit. What King was bringing in that moment was not what Bravo thought was important to the show. He got rid of Nene Leakes, who was the star of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Didn't give no fucks what anybody else thought. He got rid of that shit and rebranded it. And when he was ready to bring her back, and if Carlos don't soon wake up and make some changes, I really feel like the show is on the last leg anyway. I'm just saying. I really feel like this show is on its last leg. You can sit up here and review it every Monday. Shit, you can even throw in a few Sundays. The shit is not going to change. It's just not going to change. I'm just saying. We ain't got to look at no more of this shit. I mean, I think I wrapped it up. What do y'all think? Let me know, because I got to go. I got to go make my coin my bag. Okay? Love you guys down. And y'all know I ain't telling no lies when I say it. They need a refresh on this show. You lost the star of your show. And that's not with just that show. Bell Collective, you lost JJ, So Gucci. You lost Akeisha, Willie, the 4 people who that's who they really cared about. Now you're talking about the door is open. Bitch, they're not walking back in. So now what? What do we do now? You put a bitch on there who looked like Akeisha, but ain't bringing shit to the show. But you sitting on your platform looking like this. Like you got to go take a shit. Boy! Y'all know I'm going to always shoot the truth. 324 watching me, and I know y'all agree with what I'm saying. And for those of you that don't, it's all right, because guess what? At the end of the day, it's my show. But thank you guys for being here. I love you guys immensely. Please do not forget to hit the like button. Y'all know I'm going to keep it all the way 1,000. Please hit my like button, honey. Thank you to my Top Flight mods, True TV Podcast. Thank you, Rose Armstead and Tiffany Thomas. Thank y'all so much for doing an awesome job of modding. Thank you to all of my content creators, because there's quite a bit of you guys in here, and I appreciate you all for coming. Astute Queen B, Black Women in the Building, Miss Dee, Simple Mom Family TV, Marcella, I saw you stop by here. Thanks so much, love. Jonetta Speaks, JC Creation, Shay P, Shay Renee, Queen Speaks TV, Deary Talk, Schoolboy, Just a T, please. And Brits Block, if you're in the building, thanks, love, for being here as well. If I missed anyone, please let me know before I get out of here, because again, subscribe to the channel if you've not done so. Y'all see how we get down over here. We cover everything and all topics, okay, from politics to reality TV, celebrity news, all of that. We leave no stones unturned. So if you guys want everything, all current news, right here, we're gonna have it. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. Of course, all my Caramellians in the bushes as well as in the chat. I will see you guys later for a midday pop-in. Please keep your notifications on so you guys will know when I go live. All right. Bye.